Welcome. It is the TYCAST. It's Thursday. Thanks you for being here. It is, what is today? Today is July 22nd. Thank you, Max. And we are back for another episode. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here live. Thank you for listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Podcasts or wherever you listen to it. We have an awesome show tonight. Great panel. Let's get right into it. I'm going to say some hellos. Aaron at Beach Pizza Gaming. Good to have you back, man.
Hello. Good to be here. Good to see you all. You all look great. What a great time we're going to have.
Excellent shirt, by the way. Very appropriate.
Thank you.
We have two newcomers this week. First off is Jason.
Hey, J Matthew.
J Matthew. YouTube is your handle. Your links in the description. Thank you for being here.
I don't always go by Jason, but it's my real name. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. I noticed when we were setting this up, we're like, does everyone go by their handle or by their first name? And we kind of just started doing just your real first name. So thanks for being here. We'll do some shout outs in a little bit. Max at Madonna Max, good to have you back. 18 episodes in a row. How you been, man?
It might be a surprise that I'm here. I don't know if people just expect to see me every week or I feel like whenever it is I miss an episode, it's like going to be the world falling apart.
That's when the show ends. Is when our another newcomer, we got Remington at Pixel Codex. Good to have you, man. How you been?
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. You have an awesome YouTube channel, and it's good to have you back. You've been in the Discord for a while, and so I'm glad to have you on with us.
Yeah, it's awesome to finally be on.
Yeah, and then Chris at Toaster Dog. How's it going, man? Good to have you back.
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start out because we have something a little bit special coming up in 2 weeks. So August 5th, save the date, because we are doing our first ever video game book club. And with Metroid Dread coming out, we all agreed that everyone on that episode is right now currently playing through Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. Or, I mean, I think we're all playing it on Nintendo Switch Online because it's free included in that. But on August 5th, that episode, it's episode 20 of the TYCAST, we are doing our reactions to Super Metroid for the SNES. And so if you want to be in on it, start playing it now. We're all trying to get as far as we can over the next 2 weeks. I think I'm about 2 hours in right now. It looks like from what we looked at, it seems like it's about an 8-hour playthrough to complete the game. And so jump in it. We're going to have a big, deep discussion on it. And you're welcome to join in on the chat or on social media or whatever. It's something that we all wanted to play the same game, at the same time. And we're going to start doing that monthly too. So on August 5th, we will announce what the next game we're playing, and then you'll have 4 weeks to play that game, and we'll all be playing. And hello.
Definitely the next game will be Spider-Man.
And that was the only other nomination when we first threw it out there. So it definitely could very well be. I want to give a few shout outs. Nofrendo, Neander, thank you guys for being here. So let's get right into pickups and what you're playing this week. Aaron, what have you been up to?
I have been playing Super Metroid for the book club.
Yes,
which it's a really fun game. I like that it's on the Nintendo Switch Online. Yep. And it's nice to be able to play it in a handheld. I'm probably not as far as... So the first time I ever played that game was and it's crazy because I had a Super Nintendo and I loved it and I had a ton of games for it. the first time I ever played it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago when I went through like the Super Nintendo kick and I bought a bunch of Super Nintendo games, and I think I found that one, on eBay for like $45 or something back then. And I bought it and I played it on a CRT TV, and I made it like 4 hours in. So no save states, and I wasn't really using any guide. And it was a lot of fun. But it was, it's a pain playing on a CRT TV for me anyways, and having that set up. So yeah, so it's nice to go back and play it on the Switch, and I am using save states.
I am
so
too. Yeah. Just if you're curious, no, we don't discriminate against save states. It's the nature.
I want to say one thing. I have major respect for you guys saying that you use save states.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of people will be like, I beat the game. They won't talk about how they use save states.
I mean,
it's fine if you don't.
Listen. I beat Bloodborne. I beat Dark Souls 2. I don't care. I beat those and Demon Souls. I don't care. I'm a real gamer. I can go back and play some retro games with save states.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm respecting that you guys will take, because there's some people to be like nervous.
You gotta be honest. Yeah. You gotta be honest. Honesty is a good quality. So that and Skyward Sword, I was away for the weekend, and I didn't get to buy it the day that it came out, but I did buy it on Sunday and started playing it, and that is a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to getting through that game, because I've played and beat both the other Zeldas on the Switch, so I'll definitely play through this one. And then I played when I was away, the people that we were away with randomly brought a Wii and Mario Kart, and that was it. So we played that, and that was not even Wii Sports. It made me want a Wii. Not even Wii Sports. Wow. Just Mario Kart.
That's a bold move right there.
Just Mario Kart. And you know what though? I couldn't figure out how to drift in it. So I gotta go back and play that. But yeah, but that was it. Bunch of Nintendo games, and yeah, a lot of fun.
Nice.
Jason, Matthew.
Yeah.
What? So this is your first time. So we usually go like over the last week or week or two. What you've been playing? Any pickups that you've scored? So what have you been up to?
I've been playing a few games recently. Like I've been playing Skyward Sword, came out a few days ago. Got on a launch. I've only played like an hour of it so far, but it's my first playthrough. Really enjoying it. Playing through Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm not too far in there as well. I'm on like the Alice in Wonderland world. But that's a really good game. I've been wanting to get that for a long time. It's really nice playing on the PS5. I had it on PS4, but now I can finally continue on the PS5. And I've been playing this PS Vita game called Ragnarok Odyssey. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, but it's also like it's got like some other weird elements to it. It's like I played. I was like, this is like Monster Hunter. I don't really know what else to compare it to, but like, JRPG style. So
yeah. I saw you put that in the document, and I was like, that sounds like a mashup of every game that's come out in the last 2 years. It's like Ragnarok Odyssey.
There it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And on the Vita, cool.
Yeah.
Is that game worth a lot?
I don't know. I got it for a good deal. It was like $20 along with the Vita and the other game the Vita came with. So I don't really know how much it's worth on its own, but I'm sure it's not too bad.
Nice.
Go
ahead.
Pickups wise,
yeah.
I'll just speed around them. I got a N64 Rumble Pack. The PS Vita itself, finally after so long. I got like lost mine and like 4 years ago. Finally got one again. Ragnarok Odyssey, Assassin's Creed 3 that came on the PS Vita because they had like the weird version. They had like it was 3, but it's like Liberation. It's like a weird version. Huh. I bought Mario Hoops 3 on 3, the Japanese version though.
Nice.
I found it cheap. I'm like, okay,
that's awesome.
I got the Metal Gear Solid HD collection on the PS3. Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear Rising, Killzone 3, Resistance: Fall of Man, and then the PS2 Metal Gear Solid collection. So it's like 1, 2, and 3. But like the PS3 one was like 2, 3, and then Peace Walker, which is weird. Dead Space 2. Talk about Dead Space later.
Yeah.
Destroy All Humans, We Fit Plus, We Fit, Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz, Big Brain Academy, We Degree, Rayman, Raven Rabbids, iCarly 2, and Angry Birds Star Wars.
Nice.
So
I loved Angry Birds Star Wars as a kid. That was awesome.
Was that your lifetime pickup list, or was that just this week?
That was a few days ago.
Wow.
Well, some of it was a week ago. Most of it was.
That's awesome. That is.
Have you played any of the Metal Gear Solid games?
I have played a little bit of 2, but I tried because so what happened is I bought 2 a while ago, and I tried. I didn't want to because obviously it's 2. I'm not gonna start playing through when I got it. So I just tried it out, and so I didn't get any spoilers because I just wanted to try it because I bought it a long time ago. But I got those because I wanted to play through them for the first time.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Good. It's a good series to play through. I want to revisit because I only played 1 and I only got maybe 2/3 of the way through, and so I've been wanting to get back into all that. Awesome, Max. I know you have a bunch of pickups. What were you up to this week?
All right, so obviously Skyward Sword. Everyone else here got it, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I played about 10 hours of this. I got through the first 2. Are they called temples? I think is what they're called. On the 3rd temple. I'm going to be playing more of this tonight. I'm trying to beat it fast enough so I can actually do a video review on it before the game becomes stale and no one's interested in the topic.
No one cares anymore.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to beat it in time before it's probably going to be a stale topic when I beat it. And obviously got the Joy-Cons, Zelda Joy-Cons. They look so
cool. Lucky for that.
Yeah,
they're so nice.
Hold on, you
Amazon
can keep talking.
package. And then what else? Oh, this is the big thing, the one that I was talking about, how I finessed GameStop. This okay. So I want everyone to realize I got all this at GameStop, and then keep it all in your mind. Then I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it. You guys are about to be blown away. Your eyes are going to be like, all right. So starting off with the GameStop finessement that I pulled off. Destroy All Humans for the Switch. I played this also. I played a lot of this week. Catherine Full Body.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm really
waiting for me
about this. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't care about playing this game. I feel like
price, right?
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a really rare Switch game, and I'm so mad. I paid the new price tag. It's not even sealed. I'm like, this is the one thing I wanted sealed. They don't have it sealed. Five Nights at Freddy's, the core collection. It has all the Five Nights at Freddy's games.
I swear you just bought that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, didn't you?
I bought Help Most Wanted in March.
Oh, okay.
So then Katamari.
Yeah, good game.
I'm really excited to play this.
That's a fun game.
Nice.
Okay, so I bought this before everything that came out, so don't cancel me, please. I got Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I'm kind of excited to play this. Stardew Valley. I've been meaning to play this game, and I've been waiting.
Love that game.
I actually didn't think there was going to be a physical copy. I was just waiting just to wait. A physical copy came out, so I'm glad I waited. Cadence of Hyrule.
Yes, I've been wanting to play that. How much was that physical?
40.
Oh yeah, that's why. I bought Crypt of the Necrodancer for what, like $2.99 or $3.99, and then so that's the only thing that's preventing me from playing Cadence of Hyrule is the massive uptick in price. But Max, yeah, you
all of this $104.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
What?
Nice. Oh, that's crazy.
And I got a hoodie with it also.
What?
Awesome Miles Morales. All for $104.
Oh, that's sick.
Damn.
Now let me explain how I finessed them here. So GameStop had a lot of deals this week.
Yeah.
They had if you spend $75, you save 10. And if you spend $150, you save 20. And then on top of that, they had it where if you buy 2 new games, you get 1 pre-owned game for 50% off. I was supposed to pay $208 for all of this. the GameStop employee. So there was a lot of difficulties ringing all of this up because the GameStop wasn't applying the deals. So the employee was running all these numbers, and somehow I ended up with it being way cheaper than it was supposed to be.
I think you're not supposed to combine those offers. I think it was supposed to be one or the other.
Oh, they combined all the different
all
offers?
all of the deals.
So this dude put everything on top, and I think he even put more deals and didn't even realize what he was doing. This guy was so confused. I was so confused. I finessed GameStop into giving me all this for $104 plus the hoodie. God. So,
that's awesome.
I guess some people won't consider that a finesse, but since it wasn't supposed to be that price, I consider that a finessement right there, if anything. So that's nice haul.
A solid.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Again,
good job, Matt.
I bought the Tony Hawk before Activision stuff came out.
I think Vicarious Visions is. I don't know that they're. I mean, I'm sure they're somewhat involved,
they're owned by Activision.
But I think this is mostly Activision corporate. We'll get into it. Remington at Pixel Codex, welcome to the TYCAST. First time. What have you been up to this week? What did you pick up?
So I think I'm going to admit something on the stream. I do not have a Switch. I'm always a generation. Yeah, I know. Breaking news, sacrilege. But I'm always a generation behind with Nintendo. So I bought the Wii U right as the Switch was already out, and I always try to get everything cheap or whatever. So I'm trying to beat all of the Wii U, some Wii games prior to the Switch OLED. I figure I've already been burned 3 times waiting for the Switch Pro. I'm pretty sure it's not coming out at this point, so I might as well bite the bullet and just buy it at this point. So what I've been playing is it's reversed, The Last Story on the Wii. It's an RPG. It's by Hironobu Sakaguchi. He's the guy who made Final Fantasy. It's got the same guy who did the music. I don't know if you remember on the 360, he tried to bring out 2 games, Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, and it was pretty much a Dragon Quest clone and a Final Fantasy clone. But if you never played them, they're all pretty good, but I guess everyone kind of complained. He's like, oh, you're just copying all your stuff. So on the Wii, he's like, all right, I'm going to bring out a game. It's going to be all modern, completely different. So it's actually pretty cool. I've always wanted to play it. I actually had it sealed, and for me, I don't really care if it's sealed or not, but as soon as I opened it, I kind of checked the price, and I was like, ooh, I probably shouldn't have done that. But it's a cool game. I've only played 2-3 hours of it, but it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
It's kind of, it's not bad. If you guys haven't played it and you're a big fan of Final Fantasy, it's cool to check out.
Yeah.
As far as games, I don't really buy too much now, but so Ty, you were saying you're getting into collecting physical games. Now I've been collecting games for 30 years, and I said it's a slippery slope, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have a PlayStation 5. I don't have a Switch, but as soon as I see something on sale, I have to buy it. It's a sickness. So I got Miles Morales on PS5. I don't even have a PlayStation 5, but I got this game. So if I eventually buy it,
might as well.
I'll be able to play it.
Just in preparation.
And yeah.
For
so
after the PS6 comes out, then you can.
Yeah, but as soon as PS6 comes out, I'm set. And then I got a Dragon Quest 11 on PS4. I'm probably never gonna get around to playing it. I think I'm on Dragon Quest 5 on the DS right now. So awesome. And that's it for me.
Sweet, yeah. Those are. I like retro pickups and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I just it is exactly what I'm right now, especially right now. I'm really into stuff like that. There's some gems that people didn't really appreciate back in 10 years ago even. And Chris at Toaster Dog, what have you been up to, man?
Yep. I've been streaming a little Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I was hoping to finish it prior to our Super Metroid episode, but that's not going to happen. I am going on vacation next week, and we're traveling a lot, so I'm hoping to get a good chunk of Super Metroid done in the car.
Nice.
We played Rocket League one night.
Oh yeah,
Sunday night, I think we did that.
Yeah, we played a while. I didn't even put that in my list. I totally forgot about that. That was fun.
And then I didn't have any real. Well, like it's just not a real gaming pickup. But I finally got a chair, and now my butt doesn't hurt, so I'm counting it as a pickup.
That is definitely a pickup.
That counts.
That definitely counts. So for me, I bought a bunch of random stuff. So I've been playing Skyward Sword. I got the Joy-Cons. Although, so full disclosure, I was working on doing a mod for my Switch to be all white. And so I did the back because I got the back panel and that was fine. And then I got this cool screen protector that has a white bezel. And then, but the replacing the front panel of a Switch is an absolute nightmare. I watched like videos and it's like an 1.5-hour video and they keep messing it up because you have to like heat gun to remove the LCD panel from it. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. So I got one of the skins because I was like, okay, I can just fake the just that little black trim that's left, basically. And I screwed it up and I ripped it off and I tore it and so now I have this like weird hybrid thing with my Zelda Joy-Cons. And so I'm gonna reach out to Dbrand, see if they'll send me another one because it was way too expensive for a piece of for a sticker anyway. But and then I've been on eBay and on Shop Goodwill the last couple of weeks, so I bought a bunch of Game Boy Colors, but this one came in today, and it's, other than this, the little sticker being a little messed up, it is a pristine.
It looks absolutely brand new.
It is. It looks like it's barely even been touched. And then I bought a bunch of random Japanese Game Boy games. So I got Focus. This is
so cool.
Pokemon Gold, the Japanese version. Pokemon Red, the Japanese version. This is, I posted this on my Instagram. It is actually the original Tamagotchi game, and the whole top part is a separate speaker and battery pack that will chime because it goes off of time based. It'll chime when your Tamagotchi needs you. And so there's a whole separate.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of cool. So it's just I saw that. I was like, that's a cool looking Game Boy game.
I didn't even know that existed.
I know,
that is awesome.
And then
I didn't know you could. Yeah.
And so I got like 20 Japanese Game Boy games, and they're all. And so it's just been fun, kind of looking them up. They're really cheap. Apparently, Japanese Game Boy games are very inexpensive.
Dude, any Nintendo Japan game is significantly cheaper than any US one.
And so
that's
like
at the convention I was at.
Yeah,
they were selling Japanese GameCube.
Oh yeah, you said in your video.
There was like Mario Sunshine for $20. I'm like, what are we doing wrong here? How did we get this way where everything is like quadruple the price? I need to go to Japan, buy like every game that's expensive here, and I'll be so happy.
Dude, there's so much cheaper. You can go on eBay and find like the first WarioWare for like $15.
The Japanese versions are cheap. The other thing I bought this by itself because like 5 years ago I got all of my games stolen in a move, and so like all my like childhood games, and so I'm slowly going through, and from what I remember that I like played as a kid, and so just randomly I saw this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan Game Boy. That. And I played this game. Fun. I remember playing this game for hours and hours and hours, like car rides and everything. And it was on eBay for like $5, and so I bought it. I was like, okay, this is going to be the start of me rebuying all of my childhood Game Boy games as I buy up, because I actually bought 7 Game Boys this week. This is the only one that's come in so far, because I modified one, put the IPS screen, new shell, and did all the customizations, and I want to do that to a handful of others, some Game Boy Colors and stuff. And so I bought a bunch, and then I'm gonna probably sell a couple after I modify them to just offset the cost to have some fun stuff. But yeah, that was my week. I have some more stuff coming in next week, so I'll be able to share that. A lot of more fun things like that that I bought that hasn't arrived yet. So with that, we are that segment went long, so we're gonna fly through news. We're not gonna. Chris, are you talking? I see you in the chat. Is that for us or is that for chat?
No, it's for chat.
Okay.
They were talking about Japanese import games.
Oh, okay.
I have one of those, but then I was like, oh wait, I have at least 3 that I can think of. So.
I saw your chat, but I wasn't following in with it. So let's go into news real quick. And we're with Activision Blizzard sued over frat boy culture harassment. We don't have to go deep into this because I feel like it's not really our place to deal with something like this, but I feel like it needs to be at least acknowledged if we're talking about news, because it was the biggest news. It seems like this is an issue with the culture of video game development, and yeah, I don't want to dive too much into this because it sucks. It's not okay. The whole industry needs to change, and it seems like Activision kind of acknowledged that this either has happened or, but I don't know. If anyone wants to say anything, now's your chance.
The whole situation is just completely upsetting, sad.
Yeah,
it just makes me sad as a person that collects these things. And
yeah, exactly.
loves
It's like
talking about them and sharing them. It's just like, why does this have to exist? Why can't they be adults? It's not that hard.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's it exactly. It's just it's tough when you look up to these companies for the things that you're passionate about, and then you see like the kind of like ugly underbelly of it like coming out, and then just you feel for the people affected, and if you're listening or watching, I recommend you go look through some like all these allegations and everything. There's a lot of people that have come forward outside of this after it came out that to corroborate, and there's a lot of really sad stories that need to be heard, and as a to start the conversation to change this. It seems like it's systemic between Ubisoft and Riot, and now Activision. It seems like it's kind of industry wide, and so nothing's going to change until people start holding the people and the companies accountable for what's going on. But and so yeah, if I felt like we needed to acknowledge it, but if anyone has anything else to say, go for it before we move forward.
Toaster Dog said it best.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's just it's disappointing. It's not okay. Yeah. It needs to change. So with that, we'll move on to there's a new PS5 digital edition revision that kind of snuck out. It's 300 grams lighter. No one really seems to know what the difference is, other than the screw on the bottom doesn't require a screwdriver. I think it's like a thumb screw. But I don't know. It's something. It was, for some reason, it was like top of the news this week. It was like that.
Yeah, it was a slow day.
already has
now the question revision. Is, do I need to buy that to have every PS5 or what's
yeah.
Yes, you
do.
Technically. Maybe this screw is just 300 grams lighter. We don't even really know.
Yeah.
How much is 300 grams? Does anyone know how much 300 grams is?
No.
But yeah, there doesn't seem like there's any it's half a pound lighter. So I'm curious, and I know that there were some reports.
A heavy screw.
Yeah,
one dense screw.
There were reports of Sony trying to revise the design of the PS5 to ease with the chip shortage issues that were taking place. I don't know how that would take place, and if this is it, but yeah. So yeah, it's 0.66 pounds lighter than the original digital model. We have a lot of news, so we're gonna fly through. Ubisoft announced XDefiant, Tom Clancy, 6 versus 6 free-to-play arena shooter. There's a trailer. Okay, so full disclosure, I love stuff like this, but I don't know if anyone. Although, and it's free to play, so it's probably loaded with microtransactions and all the garbage.
All right, Max, did you show your sleepy face already?
No.
Oh, was it coming? I missed it.
No. I was actually gonna say, I feel so bad for the people. Ubisoft hyped this up 2 days before the announcement, and they made it seem like it was gonna be Splinter Cell.
Yes,
and
I saw everyone freaking out about Splinter Cell.
Yeah,
dude, I was gonna say just for the love of God, just make a Splinter Cell game. Fine, that's you would make so much money.
Dude, I feel so bad for the fans.
Yeah, how long has it been? 5 years, I think, since the last one?
I don't even know.
I think it's been longer than that. Wasn't the last one Black? I think the last one was Blackout or something, right? On the
something
like
on
the
that.
360,
360.
Wii U.
Yeah,
there was nothing last gen or whatever gen in the last 10 years.
PlayStation 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a little bit. So here's the thing with Tom Clancy. I was an avid Tom Clancy reader in high school and college, and it's very rooted in realism, and so it weirds me out that they keep trying to make it supernatural. So that's the only thing that I have okay, at least this is somewhat realistic looking, moderately. And so the whole was it Extraction or whatever the new Rainbow Six game is where they have aliens, come on now. Tom Clancy's it was a tactical it was global political warfare, and then they're oh, let's do an alien game. It seems like they were trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Sounds like the Call of Duty route.
Yeah, and so that was my issue with it, and so I don't know. I'm intrigued by it, but we'll see. It's probably gonna be what we all expect it to be. The next is the Dying Light Platinum Edition coming to Switch.
Everybody play that game. Play that game.
I know,
Everybody
Aaron, you are
play that game. Seriously.
I know I asked you in the Discord, but
let's stop this podcast right now and all go play
okay.
that game.
Let's all stop the podcast, play that game, and play Days Gone. Days Gone.
Bye.
Days Gone.
Yeah.
Dying Light is a really good game, and there's a ton of Easter eggs in it. There's don't even read about it, just go play and explore it, and there's so much in that game. Did anybody else play it?
I haven't played it.
I've played a little bit of it. I never finished it, but I thought it was so fun.
It's when you first start off, it's one of those games that you first start off and you're there's a day and night cycle, and you're afraid to go out at night because it's so dangerous, and there's things that are going to kill you immediately. And then as you level up through the game, you go from it taking 12 hits to kill a zombie to you're a one man or woman wrecking machine. So you go through and one hit kill everything, and you just it's such a good game. Nice. I highly recommend it.
I find this really, really interesting. Warner Brothers, they're publishing this, and they also publish Witcher 3. There was rumors that suggested that Warner Brothers was the ones that was really pushing to make a Witcher 3 Switch port. And it seems like they want their really big games on the Switch. So it makes me wonder, are we going to see more of these huge third-party games from Warner Brothers be coming to the Switch?
Yeah.
Because we got Witcher 3, that's a huge thing. Dying Light, that's a huge thing that I never really expected to come to the Switch. And it's coming off with the DLC, all the content that was ever
wrapped in.
Yeah. There's so much
content.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
This looks fun. Yeah. I just had the trailer playing, and that looks like a fun game.
It is so. Yeah, it's such a good game. I can't talk highly enough about it.
All right.
I hope it's all on one cartridge, like Witcher 3 was.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
I'm assuming it probably will be since it's just from the same publishing company. I don't know.
I'm probably gonna buy it on PC, since it's like $5 or $6 right now or something. Is that what
Yeah,
we
you can
did?
get it really
Like,
cheap,
if-
and it will run. I'm
depending-
sure it's going to run way better than it will on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, Pokemon Unite is dividing everyone. I've seen a lot of love and a lot of vitriol for this game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I played that game too. I forgot to mention that.
I haven't played it. I'm kind of interested because I've always been slightly intrigued with MOBAs, but also very like I don't want to get into this because it's so like overwhelming with all the chaos in the whole scene of that and the competitiveness and everything. But so Max, you played it. Did anyone else play it?
I played it. I like suggested it for like the news, and then I played it like an hour before we started.
Oh, okay.
And I also read about like why people don't like it. I'm like, what? Like, I'll like. So basically, of course, it's free. So there's like microtransactions, and there's like some Pokemon that like are available to get now, but like you'd have to like. The way I can explain it is like you have to like level up for like 5 weeks to like gather enough stuff for this one thing, or you can buy it all at once and get it that day. And that's what makes it unplayable for a lot of players that are fighting people who actually want to pay the money and don't care about paying the money, to have those characters.
Sure.
And the other people have to play it like for 5 weeks straight just to get that character and things like that. And apparently one of the cartridges in the game, because there's like a few of them, which is weird. One of them, like, you can only get it from using actual money, apparently, which is really weird.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why.
I think that's a big thing is if you can work your way through to accomplish as much as someone paying, then that's one thing. But if you put that wall up that no matter how hard you try, you cannot get to this point without putting in money, that's what I think some people have a strong issue with, and it seems like that's what is happening. So Max, what did you think?
Though.
You like it? Yeah, it seems like people are playing are enjoying it.
The game's fun in general, yeah, just that thing is really, really weird.
Yeah.
It's not much of a problem with me because I got one of my favorite Pokemon as a free Pokemon to start with. So I don't think I'm ever going to pay money unless somehow they get Tepig in the game. That's my favorite Pokemon of all time, but no one likes Tepig, unfortunately, so he's probably never going to get in this game. I never played League of Legends, so I just call this game like Pokemon Basketball Edition because it reminds me a lot of basketball because you have to.
Yeah, the way you score, right, Max?
Yeah,
you like, go to like the ring and you jump up with the Powerball, you throw it in.
Yeah, it makes me want to see a Pokemon basketball game, like an actual.
Like
I feel like
Mario
that'd be funny.
Yeah, I pulled up this article. It's like Pokemon Unite is the baby mode MOBA for me. And it's someone who's saying they like it. I think conditionally, but yeah.
One thing I wish I did before talking about it, I wish I played it on mobile because I'm just curious to see how
it's not out yet.
Works.
It's not out yet.
It's not out.
Yeah, I think it's Switch initially, and then it's coming.
It comes out mobile soon.
I think a month or so. Okay. The mobile version.
I'm impressed that thing stays at 60 frames per second on the Switch. I'm actually really impressed by that because it graphically looks pretty good. Yeah,
mine dropped a lot, which is weird. Or at least it lagged.
Mine dropped when they were doing the loading screens. Like it was like 1 frame per second when the actual game was happening. Unless there was lag, the frame rate stayed at 60, which I thought was nice.
That's true.
Max, you just went 1 frame per second when you were saying that. All right, moving on. The EA Play Live was today, and so we're going to talk about it briefly. There's the big thing is the Dead Space remake.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So it's a only next gen remake. It seems like it's of the original, but incorporating pieces of the other games also. It seems like it's kind of like a universal remake. We'll touch on that. Then Battlefield 2042 Portal, which it seems like it's a almost like a creative mode for.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I say 1942? I meant 2042. If I didn't. And it seems like they're going deeper into that whole thing, which I'm interested in now more so. Apex Legends, there's the new character, new thing, Knockout City, and then Grid Legends, the new Codemasters game. Those are the big deals with the EA Play Live, but I think most of us are most interested in Dead Space. It seems. I'm not a big horror game player, and so I never played Dead Space because it scared me. Who are Dead Space fans? Before we move on.
Right.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah, I played it on the PS3, and it was
I don't know if I can say I'm a fan yet, but I just bought 2.
Yeah,
nice.
I have a funny story about.
I never played 2 or 3, but I played 1, and is it really? It's better than 1. I really liked 1,
but the first one's awesome too.
Yeah.
So I can't call myself like a fan, but I played the first one on mobile. They made a Dead Space on mobile.
Was it the entire game?
You know, I played that.
Yes, it was the entire game, I think.
Wow.
I got it on my
iPod.
iPod.
Side story. I don't remember.
Okay, all right. I got it on my iPod Touch when I was like 7 years old.
You played the whole thing?
Yes, it freaked me the crap out. I was like,
that's 7. Playing Dead Space. And Ty's like,
I was like 20, 23, and I was like, nope.
So the funny story is, when I first played this game, I had no idea it was going to be a scary game. I thought it was just a shooter game just called Dead Space. I'm going to be honest. That was what was going into my mind as a kid. And I played it at like 4 a.m. when I was sick. I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to play this Dead Space game. It took forever to download on my iPod Touch. It's got to be a great game.
Wait, you were up at 4 a.m. at 7?
No. Okay. Sorry. I was sick. So I woke up at 4 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And I was playing that game till like 7, and because I was terrified. Like when I was playing it, I still played it while being terrified. But I was like, I'm definitely not going to bed after this because I was 7. Like I was like literally 7. So that's like a scary game. And that game was fun though. I've always wanted to play the Dead Space series after that, and you can't really play that series on like PS4. On PlayStation Now, they have Dead Space 3, but they don't have 1 and 2 for whatever reason, which is kind of weird.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play this remake. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. The like I read something about like a game that was being developed, and one of the things that was like the key things they were making it was like, is killing the enemy fun? And that's like, when you think about it, it's like, okay, that's actually pretty important in a game. Like, you're going to be doing it a lot if it's an action game like that. And Dead Space definitely nailed that. Like, killing the enemies and chopping off their limbs or stomping on their limbs.
Yeah, the best part is
so much fun. Yeah, stomp. Yeah, I think there was a trophy. I think there was a trophy for like separating a certain amount of limbs. And
that pretty much a guy in a heavy suit with these like heavy ass boots, and you just go around stomping as hard as possible on these horrible creatures. It's so cool.
It's a great game.
I'd try that now. I'm old enough. I'm a
crazy scary.
Human. I'm a grown ass man. I can play it.
You're not 7 anymore.
Yeah. If Max can play it at 7, if Max can play it at 7, I can play it at 37. All right. So we have 15 minutes. We have a little bit more than 15 minutes. I usually try to cap this at an hour, but we're 45 minutes in, and we are finally getting to our title segment of our deep dive into the N64. So we kind of shifted. Yeah, you got the Rumble Pack. I heard you kind of like blew through that, and I was like, and then you're like, and I bought these 45 other games, and so I didn't go back to it. So the N64, it came out. So it was first released in June of 1996 in Japan, September 1996 in North America, and then March of 1997 in Europe and Australia. And it was, so I'm pretty sure none of us who owned an N64.
Yeah, I pretty much got the day it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like a big Nintendo kid.
Sure, yeah. I was in a weird off cycle where I had an NES, but then I bought a Genesis. I was given a Genesis for Christmas, and then I had a PlayStation 1, and then I bought a Dreamcast. And so like I was just kind of like on this weird off cycle, and then I waited for the Xbox because I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. So I kind of like I was shifting between different companies, but I missed out on Nintendo between the NES and the Wii. Essentially, it was the next Nintendo console. But my best friend growing up had an N64, so I played a lot of N64 just because I had like it was just we bought opposite things. So real quick,
I picked up the N64 when it launched on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah, that counts technically. When is Nintendo Switch Online gonna have the N64 games?
It should already have it.
It should
already have it. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's not getting it.
I don't think it's getting it. That's like too much money that Nintendo's giving out.
That's true.
But what are they going to do with those games? All those games that are just
they're not selling them. They're not selling them anywhere. So there's not a virtual console.
N64 Classic Edition would be awesome, but
what makes me so sad is that like I always preach about how the Wii U is like still relevant because like it has all the virtual console things, like especially with the 64, DS, GB, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not going to allow you to add credit card funds in January anymore.
Right.
Is that
out of this world?
Off? Yeah. So yeah, they're cutting that off. So
that's like the last official way.
So real quick, let's go around. What was your experience with the N64? Obviously 1996. How many years ago was that? 20.
It was way too long.
25? Is it 25?
Oh, man.
I think the anniversary of the 25th anniversary was like the other day. I remember that.
Yeah. June in Japan. It'll be September 29th in the US for the North American launch. But Aaron, I know you.
Yeah.
What's your?
I know you picked me first because I'm wearing my Nintendo 64 shirt.
I mean, you're obviously a super fan and own multiple copies.
I am a huge fan of this shirt because my wife bought me this shirt. This is my first time wearing it. She bought it for me, I think, for Father's Day. So yeah, my wife bought it for me, and I pulled it out of the bag. I said, "Babe, this is great." I said, "You got me a video game shirt." She's like, "Yeah." I said, I actually never owned a Nintendo 64. And she's like, oh. I was like, it's cool though. It's cool. I'll keep the shirt. I played some of the games and I do like them. So, I had a Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo. I had a Genesis. And that was right around the time that, like 94 is when the PlayStation came out, right? Was
95?
95?
Yeah.
So, and did the Saturn come out around the same time, I think?
Summer of 95.
It came out just before.
So, I knew those came out before the Nintendo 64 because Nintendo they were already getting like the these are games for kids label thrown on them. Nintendo was for kids, and then the other consoles were for teenagers and adults.
Yeah.
So I had kind of moved on from, I still had my Super Nintendo, but I had a Sega Saturn and a bunch of games on that. And, so I had been playing that in 95 and probably the beginning of 96. But that was like, that was like a phase where I think I turned 18 in 96, and that was like the longest phase that I went without really playing any video games. I think I went from 96 to 99 only playing like Donkey Kong Country for like 2 nights in a row.
Wow.
So that was like the longest stretch that I've ever gone without playing video games. And then the only thing that like pulled me back into it was like my friend saying, hey, you need to play Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. So I went out and bought a PlayStation. I bought Metal Gear Solid. And then I was like, all right, games can be mature, and they can, have like mature stories and mature content, and this is cool. I'll keep playing games. So I missed like all of that stuff. And so like when people talk about like, I don't know, Mario Kart, is there even
Mario Kart 64? Yeah, it was amazing. It was
so like people
so
talk
good.
about that, and they talk about Super Mario 64, and I'm like, I just like when you go back to Super Mario 64 now, especially like with the collection they just released, it's like the camera is terrible.
Yeah.
Like it's just not for me, like it's cool to like play a Mario game and like, see where they were at when they were made that game, and but it's like I couldn't see, like it's hard to put myself in like I have no nostalgic feelings for it whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
sure.
the only thing that I did play some 1080 on it, some 1080 snowboarding.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was like,
Didn't even have that.
one of my friends had that game. So like when we'd be getting ready to go out or whatever, or I wasn't a band at the time, like I'd stop by to pick him up, and like we'd be getting ready, having a drink or whatever, and he'd throw that on, and we'd do like 1 or 2 races. So it wasn't until like I kind of do want one now. I have owned one once. So full disclosure, I did end up owning one once for about 2 days. And it was because I was driving by a yard sale, and it was after going to Savers and not finding anything. I was driving by a yard sale, and I saw a bunch of video games like on a table. So I pulled over, and it was Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, it was Gauntlet, Dark Legacy, a bunch of wrestling games. It was like, there were probably like 12 games total, 2 controllers, no console. And I was like, how much do you want for this stuff without the console? And they were like, you can just give us $10 for it. And this is like 4 years ago. So yeah, so I was like, okay, that's good. So I like took all that stuff, and I was like, all right, now I need to buy something to test it. So I went to like this local store that carries retro stuff, and I bought a Nintendo 64. And even that at the time, I don't know what they're going for now, but it was only like $40. So I bought that, tested the games, threw it up on eBay, and that was it. So the one game that I really, really want to go back and play, and I have thought about buying a Nintendo 64 just to play this game, is Paper Mario.
Oh,
because people talk about like how great it was, and I remember like during the winter seeing a thread about like best snow levels, and there's like some snow town in that game that like people say is amazing. So I started playing it just to like during the winter. I started playing it just to get to that level, and I was like, this game is incredible. So I do want to go back and play that game at some point. If they released an N64 Mini, I would buy it. But that is my experience with the Nintendo 64. I think the best of our relationship is yet to come.
There were so many things I want to interrupt you for, and I forgot all of them. Did you play Super Mario RPG?
No, I would love to play that too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Wait, is that not on?
That's SNES.
SNES. Okay.
Yep.
That I did not play
it's on
that.
the Mini, maybe? I don't remember.
It is on the.
It is on the Mini. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right, yeah, I definitely
You
play
have?
that.
Yeah.
Which is surprising that they put that on there, since they don't even have it on the Switch.
Square Enix game,
Yeah.
And Square
Yeah,
Enix.
it's super weird.
Man, I gotta break this thing out.
Is it still sealed?
No, I opened it to play it once.
You should.
Yeah.
So I never played Paper Mario on the N64, but I played. I'm not an RPG fan, but the gameplay of Super Mario RPG is amazing. And I remember being fascinated with it. I always want to go back and play it because I only played it at friends' houses growing up, and every time I was like, I remember getting home and like, I wish I had an SNES to keep playing this game. It was like one of those games that just stuck in your head, and like you just wanted to keep playing it.
Is the gameplay similar to Paper Mario?
Kind of, not really.
It's a turn-based like RPG essentially, and so I never played any of the Paper Marios, but I know that a lot of people consider Paper Mario like a spiritual successor to a Super Mario RPG, but thanks, Max. Jason, what about you?
Yeah, I was just gonna follow up with Aaron's thing. He said he doesn't know how much they are now. They're like $90 if you only care about the original color. So they went up a little bit, and the games definitely did too. So that was a crazy pickup of yours 4 years ago. But no, I don't have one either. 64 is like the next console I've been looking for after the Vita. So I got that now. That's my next adventure. But I'll get those at some point. I have a lot of the games. I have Paper Mario, Mario 64 on the virtual console, and then I have a few of them on physical, including Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Perfect Dark, and then a few other ones. But the 64 has so many obscure games. Like, it's weird because like the third-party support was really weird. Like no popular third-party people really wanted the 64. So all you got for third-party was like random 3D platformers just popped up on their left and right, and now it's like one of the staples of that console.
Yeah. No, well, that's the thing is like the cartridge angle was very very controversial, that was the reason. And like that's why Square bailed on Nintendo. They're like, we need more memory on these games, and we need more storage, and it's kind of famously why Final Fantasy went Sony at the time.
Like the reason why there was no third-party support is because every console that came out at that same time was disc. And Nintendo's like, we're gonna stick with this old cartridge format, and they did. It's the same thing with the box that came in; those were also cardboard still. Like,
and
then Sony,
it was all backwards.
Yeah, Sony came in with the plastic cases and the
little CD cases.
But remember, for the first year or two, the PlayStation games were the big cardboard. They were
Saturn sized boxes.
They were thick
boxes,
but they were thick. I had a bunch of those.
I have one because it comes. So the Metal Gear Solid collection that's on PS2, it includes the first one, but it's not a PS2 game. So it's still like a normal like PS2 case, but the label actually has just PlayStation on the spine. And instead of saying like PS2 or just PlayStation across the top, it has PlayStation coming down the left, like on actual PS1 cases, but like sized to the DVD case, which is really weird.
Cool.
So while you were talking, I was showing all the different They had a ton of limited edition consoles.
I was trying to say like
the colors
it's
like
$90 for like the black one, but the rest are so much more.
Yeah, and so like
the colors are great.
So real quick, so there's obviously the standard charcoal, and then there's all the fantastic ones, the like jungle green, ice blue, grape purple, which is redundant, fire orange, then the smoke clear, and then the watermelon red. So this is all across all regions. So some of them were only in like Japan or only in Europe. Then there was like, so in Europe and Japan they had a clear white blue, like with a blue top, and even the controller had a clear white back with a blue top. It's a really cool looking one. I've never seen that. Same with the red. and then the Pikachu one perplexes me because they changed the whole shape of it, and then they like changed the buttons, like everything.
Pikachu is 3D,
and but it's like it has elongated one side of it, which is just strange. So nice. Skaken Bacon Media in the chat says he has the Ice Blue N64, which is awesome.
I'm so jealous.
I know.
I will say that's one of the things that actually, like, when I started watching like some video game room tours like a couple of years ago, that is one of the things that was like, man, I would love to collect Nintendo stuff, even though I'd never owned a Nintendo 64. And just seeing all of those colors, and like, I can't believe like Nintendo did that.
I know.
You know, they're like, they only sold like 30 million consoles worldwide. Well, Sony sold like 100 million or whatever PS1s.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're gonna make a bunch of different colors. Like that was a big risk to take. I think
they made like 35 different color consoles, and it's weird because then the Switch, they have 100 million, and they have like what 10 maybe.
There's a few, but they're nowhere near as cool as the Fantasy series.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this honestly to me is the coolest one. Like this light with the blue and red. Like
sweet. For me, it's either that or the Animal Crossing one.
That one's the most.
The Animal Crossing one is cool too.
But that light, the Pokemon Light version, is probably the most unique out of all the Switch.
The different,
because they like inverted everything. Yeah. And and then when they do the dock stuff, but so okay, sorry, Max. I interrupted in the middle of it. Go ahead. You go.
All right. So my experience with the N64 was actually like the first experience. I knew about it before this, watched videos on it before this, but my first time actually getting a chance to play it was when Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct on April Fools of April, of course, on April of 2015. They did a Direct. Everyone thought it was a joke, but it was an actual Direct that happened. That was one of their best Directs ever. But in that Direct, they announced that N64 would be coming to Virtual Console on the Wii U eShop. And they had Super Mario 64 at launch. I think that was actually it. And then like they were talking about how every week there'll be one new N64 game. Mm-hmm. And they had a deal where if you buy Mario 64... after the Direct, you get it half off or something like that. It was some sort of deal. So went ahead and bought it on the day, and I absolutely love Mario 64. It's funny that this happened because a few weeks before this Direct happened, somebody made a Super Mario 64 HD made in Unity in that timeline, and it got taken down. Surprise to no one. But that was actually my experience first playing Mario 64. And when I played that, I was like, I need to play this game. And then Nintendo just announced this, and I was like, all right, well, now I get to play Mario 64, and absolutely loved it. After that, I did more research on the N64 via YouTube, all that stuff, and I think this is an underrated Nintendo console. It's not my favorite. GameCube's my favorite. Hopefully one day we get to do a deep dive on that.
I have it in the schedule.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. I'm excited for that.
We'll do it.
Nice.
It's cool because like the N64, we've seen some of the most favorite Nintendo franchises come from the N64, like Super Smash Brothers is one of them. Everyone talks about that now. Paper Mario, we just talked about it. But I hope one day I get to play. Like I don't own an N64, haven't actually touched an N64 controller. One day I want to get the banana N64 controller.
Ooh.
There's a Donkey Kong 64 controller.
Yep.
I want to get that one day when it's not $300.
That's true.
But yeah, I enjoy the system a lot. Are we talking about favorite games and worst games now?
I have, whatever you, Go for it.
Well, we also got an iconic game on the N64 known as Superman 64. Probably one of the worst video games of all time. People can't even finish the tutorial because of how bad it is. The controls are so bad. They have to go through these rings.
I've watched videos on that.
Sounds amazing.
And it's pretty brutal. The thing with the N64 is it didn't like with the graphics didn't really age well because of the it's weird because I feel like even though the N64 came out a year later, I feel like even the PS1 graphics aged a little bit better than the N64.
Yeah, it's because they use that horrible texture filtering where it just like blurs over everything. Where at the time it's like, oh, it's smooth, this looks great, but it's just like they smeared Vaseline all over the screen.
Exactly. And so quick tangent is that the company Silicon Graphics that developed the hardware essentially for the N64 actually approached Sega of America initially to do their next gen console, and if you've ever, so it's a fascinating story. I think it was in Console Wars. A lot of the gaming documentaries from the 90s, they touch on this, is that basically Sega of America wanted to work with Silicon Graphics to develop the next Sega console, and Sega of Japan shot it all down because they saw it as almost like a power struggle type of thing, working with two US companies to develop the next Sega console. And then Silicon Graphics ended up working with Nintendo to develop the Nintendo 64. It was the exact same console that they were going to develop for Sega, the architecture wise. And so infamously, Sega exited the console industry shortly after that. But that's a very interesting story if you look into basically the company that developed the hardware for the N64, because it was called Project Reality. Skaken's already on top of the updates in the chat. That was the code name for this when they were pitching it to these video game companies. But yeah, Max, continue, because there's a lot of bad games on the N64 too. And so
there's so many.
But I know Superman gets usually the top nod for worst game because it's just the controls, the graphics, everything is really bad on that game.
We also had games like Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day, which were Nintendo properties. Now they're Xbox properties,
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That came out of the N64. In terms of my favorite game, I'm going to have to go with Mario 64, because that's really the only N64 game I played.
Sure.
I played a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie, and I can't say that's my favorite game yet, because I only played like an hour of Banjo-Kazooie.
It's not as good as Mario.
Yeah.
So Mario 64 definitely takes the cake for best N64 game. Hopefully one day we get a HD remake of this game. I think that would be awesome. I feel like that game still holds up very well to this day, Mario 64. Maybe not graphically, but I still think it holds up pretty well. So
that game was definitely revolutionary with the way the whole analog movement. And I remember holding an N64 controller and moving him around and having him do the whole he leans into movements and stuff, and that just feeling so, I was like, wow, this feels different than anything else I've ever experienced. And that I feel like that instance was what prompted Sony to push the DualShock. Okay, we need analog sticks, and which is funny that Sony went with the okay, we're gonna take this and then improve upon it, because the N64 analog stick turned out to be kind of garbage, but it was the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But it was the first one, and so you can't expect that it was gonna be amazing. And so but I just remember playing in Toys R Us or something and holding the N64 controller, which didn't make sense because there was 3 handles,
Yeah,
which is
it
a
had
whole
instructions for how to use it.
Whole nother issue with it. I know, Aaron, you dropped the guess like how to properly hold an N64 controller. It's like 2 hands, and then the third hand comes in for the D-pad.
Every instruction manual had to show you how to hold it to properly play the game. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to like you have to like choose one or the other side.
Yeah, it's
like,
one or the other.
playing.
Yeah, and then unless you were playing GoldenEye with 2 N64 controllers and you got the dual stick. Was that a native thing or was that a mod thing? I remember.
No, there was one game that you could do it. I think there was some driving game that did it. I think the Phantom game or whatever it was.
Didn't GoldenEye do it too? Where you
I
had
played so much GoldenEye, I don't remember.
But
I'm gonna say it sounds cool.
Yeah,
that
maybe.
way, so.
Yeah, whatever. Beetle Adventure Racing was the number 16 top game on the N64 apparently. Sorry, I'm if you're watching, I'm looking at the Metacritic top games of the N64. Remington, go ahead with your experience with the N64.
Yeah, so when Nintendo 64 came out, I think I was like 12, and like every 12-year-old who wants to be cool, I had a PlayStation, right? Because PlayStation was a cool new system after Super Nintendo. But I remember seeing ads in the magazines. Like I was huge into like Electronic Gaming Monthly, like Next Generation Game Pro, like Nintendo Power, all that stuff. And I remember before it coming out, they actually brought out arcade machines, and the system used to be called the Ultra 64, which is a way cooler name. I don't know why they ever changed it. Like it sounds so much better.
Yeah.
After Super Nintendo Ultra 64, right? So prior to this system ever coming out, they brought out 2 arcade games. It was Killer Instinct and Cruisin' USA.
Yeah.
And when I saw Killer Instinct, it was the first time they ever did that I ever saw like a 3D CG rendered fighting game. It had awesome music. I'm like, this looks sick. I need to have this. And Cruisin' USA was cool. So I really wanted it. And the funny thing was, they kind of did like shady hype for the system. Like they showed like all these CG renders of Super Mario 64. I don't know if you ever saw it. There's like a 3D render of Bowser that looks amazing. There's the like Chrome, the Mario.
Yeah.
It shows like every reflection. It's like ray traced in 1996, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that looks so amazing. I have to have it. So I sold like the majority of my PlayStation games. I had the big box ones. I just sold them. I really wanted to play Mario 64. And the first time I ever played it was actually at a Blockbuster. They had a kiosk. And I remember it was like the flame level or the lava level and the ice level. And just like you said, like people don't realize like back then, there were no analog controls. Like there were not 3D games. Like Tomb Raider did not come out till 2 months later in October. Same thing with Bubsy 3D. So there weren't 3D games. So the first, like as you said, the first time ever holding an analog stick, and I think in the first level of Mario, there's those like flat block guys who like fall down and you gotta jump on their back. I remember like running in a circle around him, and the fact that you could go behind somebody, it just blew my mind. Like I'm like, this is amazing. I need to have this. So I bought that. I only had, I had Nintendo 64 for a few years, and then I sold all the games for that, and I bought like more PlayStation games because honestly, I'm a big fan of Nintendo 64, but PlayStation much better. I was big into like Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 7, like, and you have to have those on a CD game. Also, what people didn't realize, like when the game first came out, the system, there were only 2 games.
Yeah,
there was Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, and it was a long ass wait before the next game. And then, like, if you think it's bad now, like I think GameCube and Wii like had big gaps, but this was like 7 months before anything good. I don't think Zelda came out till like '98, so that was like 2 years later. It was super hard to wait for these games, and they were crazy expensive. I actually looked it up for this. They cost anywhere from $60 to $80, which is insane. Like if you do that now with like price inflation or whatever, that's crazy. It's like over $120 a game. It's nuts.
Yeah. Ocarina of Time didn't come out till November of '98. And like
98 was a good year. But so I could talk about this forever, but I'll just say a cool game that not a lot of people talk about. It's called Blast Corp.
Yes.
And
I just got that like it's like a month
nice.
ago. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite games. So basically in the game, you're like the most hardcore like construction or demolition guy ever, right? And there'll be like a mission where like, oh God, there's a nuclear missile on a truck. It's heading for its town. So you have to destroy the entire town. So you're driving around like a pickup truck or like a bulldozer and a dump truck, and you like power slide through people's houses. It's so sick. And you get more money for how many things you destroy. So like, oh, the town's gonna blow up, you know, screw the town, just tear it down. And then at some point you get a mech. So you're running around this 3D mech like somersaulting like through buildings. It's so fun.
That is
so
awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't played it, it's sick. I think it's on the collection on Xbox. It is like all the old Rare games.
Yeah, I think
so. If you haven't played it, that's a quick way to pick it up. It's super fun.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was just looking through the list, and that's good. If we'll do one more round of like hidden gems. If you
I can talk about games for like 2 hours.
Chris, Toaster Dog, what about you?
So this was right after I so I never had a Super Nintendo growing up, because we had a Genesis, and right around 98 I moved from my dad's house to my mom's house, and the Genesis was at my dad's, so I didn't have anything at my mom's house. So it was either a Super Nintendo, which I borrowed one from one of my friends for a while, and I beat Chrono Trigger, and I spent the rest of my life trying to find a game as good as that, and I still haven't found one. But after that, the PlayStation library was just a powerhouse at that point. You had Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo, Parasite Eve, Diablo, all those things, and to me, it was a no-brainer as far as pricing and gaming, like the games that were available at the time. There was just no reason to buy an N64. That being said, I had knee surgery in 98 or 99, and I think I said this earlier that I rented an N64 and played San Francisco Rush for hours and hours and hours because that game is amazing. But that's probably only because I played it in an arcade first. So I played that. I remember playing Cruisin' USA in the arcade. Hydro Thunder, which I think came out on 64. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I did a Dreamcast or 64?
I think both.
I didn't know that existed, but yeah, I beyond that, I played GoldenEye multiplayer with some friends from church every once in a while. And then in college, we actually had sanctioned tournaments for Mario Kart 64, so I played a crap ton of that then. But other than that, I've been very limited in my 64 exposure. As far as playing goes, now collecting on the other hand, I found some very good deals, and I have quite a library of 64 games, but I haven't played most of them.
Yeah, I need to pick up an N64. I never owned one. Ever. And so but I played a ton of GoldenEye, a ton of Perfect Dark, a ton of Mario 64, Wave Race, Mario Golf, which so one thing we didn't establish this when we were talking about Mario Golf, and that I forgot, is one of the classic things about Mario Golf is like razzing other players when you're playing with them. They took that out of the new one, and I totally forgot about that until I saw some people talking about like, why did they take out the taunting element of it? Which that was kind of fun because it was like you could you could pick different like little taunts, and sometimes they would be like appropriate and funny. And so I'm like bummed that they took that out. Although I don't remember if that was in the original. I played the GameCube one a ton, the Toadstool Tour. And so I mixed those up. And then Star Fox 64 was classic.
The game that's like 6 times on all Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, exactly. So I have in here to talk about like the accessories, like the Rumble Pack that that Jason picked up, the expansion pack, which was a whole nother thing where it expanded the memory of the system from 4 megabytes to 8 megabytes, which is just funny to say.
I think it was only used in like 10 games,
was
if
it?
that.
Like,
too?
I know it was like Donkey
remember.
Kong Country was the big push for that.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
I think the expansion
Perfect
pack
Dark.
was I was about to say Perfect Dark. Yeah,
And
Perfect
maybe
Dark, yeah.
Turok 2 or 3 had.
Majora's Mask did have
Yep.
some benefits. I'm looking at the wiki.
I think it was for extra characters or something like to fight.
Yeah, there
were only 3 games that required it.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, Majora's Mask, and Perfect Dark.
Yeah. So, which is funny because I remember, like, we had that because it was like it was pushed out. The Turok was a favorite of mine. Also, underrated is Diddy Kong Racing. If anyone has never played that, that was a game.
I was about to say hot take. So much better than Mario Kart.
It was so good because you had the planes and you had the cars and it was so much more dynamic. Yeah, and then the hover boats
was
or whatever.
Like a hover. Yeah.
And there was only one sequel on the DS, or like the remake on the DS, or whatever you want to call it. That's all there was.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact. I always like to bring this up. I know I brought it up last time. Banjo-Kazooie and Conker. That's their first appearance in any game.
That's true. They
and they got rid of them in Diddy Kong Racing DS, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the other thing I want to bring up is the Star Wars game. Sorry, it got loud outside my place. The Star Wars Rogue Squadron, and there was like 3 of them. Those were amazing games that were stuck on the N64.
The one I have is Episode 1 Racer.
Episode 1 Racer, but the Dreamcast version of Episode 1 Racer is better, and then now they've remade it for like all the modern consoles, which is good. It seems like they took the Dreamcast version and then sharpen that or whatever they did to it. I'm trying to think of anything like Smash Classic. I don't know. I feel like we have to do a version 2 of this because there's so much we haven't even touched, and even in my list of things to talk about.
Yeah, I've got a huge list of all these games.
But we're over, and so
let's do a 1 year book club where 1 year from now we do the N64 again.
I'm down, and I have to.
Part 2.
Everyone has to be here a year from now,
and we all have to have owned one finally.
Yes.
We all have to wear an N64 shirt.
Deal.
I'm wearing my PlayStation shirt.
I'm wearing my Atari Pong shirt right now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm wearing a blank shirt.
Oh, nice. That's a good game, by the way. Yeah.
I had my Super Mario Brothers shirt on earlier, but I changed. All right, so let's wrap it here because we're an hour and 24 minutes. Yeah. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. Sorry I didn't acknowledge a lot of it. Aaron at Beach Pizza Gaming on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You do a lot of YouTube or Switch gameplay videos on YouTube.
Mainly new Switch games, gameplay, games that you won't find on other channels.
Yes.
So
check out all the links in the description of the video, or on if you're listening to audio, links in the episode description. Check everyone out. Jason, thank you for being here for your first episode. J Matthew YouTube on Twitter. You're also on your YouTube is your
the main
platform.
Thing. Check out is J Matthew on YouTube.
Yes.
And if you want to see my Twitter for some reason, J Matthew YouTube. That's
Yeah, exactly. So the
He's
link
almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, you're at like 930 or something. I saw. So
936.
Nice.
I'll go sub.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's get him to 1,000. J Matthew on YouTube. check him out. Link is in the description. Max, Monado Max, always great to have you, man. Sending out your headphones that I promised to you, so you will never have to use those headphones again. Moving forward.
This is legit crappiest headset I've ever seen in my entire life. I want to break this thing. I might just break this thing next time.
They are going. Yeah, do it. They're going out tomorrow, so they should be there before the next episode. And then, so Max, you put out like twice weekly YouTube videos, mostly on Nintendo Switch. A lot of your latest was on the Nickelodeon All Stars. Your top players that you want to see.
Tomorrow's video I got coming out is really cool. It is a really cool collage of Nintendo Switch games. That's all I'll say. Coming out tomorrow. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. His link is in the description. Remington at Pixel Codex. You just had your short about the Switch OLED, and then thank you for being here. This is your first episode.
I appreciate it.
Your YouTube is in the description. You're also on. Are you on Twitter? And I know you're on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on all the social
everywhere.
stuff. Yeah, the main one's YouTube. If you search for Pixel Codex, I'll pop up. If it's on social, it's got an underscore, unfortunately, because somebody got the name before me. So.
And they probably don't use it ever.
No,
right.
It's like some guys never post it.
Exactly.
So annoying.
Typical. Be sure to check out Remington's channel. Awesome content. You have great videos.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, your link's in the bio. Chris at Toaster Dog. You are streaming A Link to the Past right now on Twitch. I have your Twitch linked in the description. What are you gonna do after A Link to the Past?
I feel like I need like a actiony fast, because Link to the Past just kind of feels slow to me right now.
Sure.
It might just be the state I'm in right now, but maybe Super Metroid will kind of get my gears going a little more and lead me into something else. So I don't know.
Yeah. Are you thinking still retro though?
Probably.
Nice. Good.
Yep.
I like that. There's not enough of us doing retro streams. I keep wanting to do that, but retro games are hard, and especially single player retro games. Like I'll play Streets of Rage with someone all day long, or like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade all day long. But if I'm solo on an NES game, I'm like, I get a little scared.
But you beat Katana Zero, so you have some skill.
I did.
To use.
I did.
Yeah.
I did a live stream of me doing Ghosts and Goblins. It took me 4 hours live on stream to beat the first level.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hard game, though. That's a hard game. I don't blame you.
That is my greatest fear. That is my singular great. That I would play Dead Space alone in the dark in VR with I don't know, something else scary before I try to play a very hard game live on stream, especially if there's like more than 10 people watching.
And the worst part is you have to play through it twice if you want to get the real ending. So it's one of the hardest games ever. You got to play through it 2 times.
Yeah, nope. That's all nope for me. But but I love retro games, and so Chris, I commend you for going to battle with the difficult single player games. Thank you guys all for being here. This is a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for talking about the N64 and all the news. So reminder, 2 weeks from today, August 5th, we are all currently playing, like, not even just everyone on this panel, but like several people that aren't here tonight. We are all playing Super Metroid on Nintendo Switch Online or on SNES, however you're choosing to play it. Join us 2 weeks from now. We're all going to discuss our thoughts on Super Metroid. That's our video game book club. Be here. It's going to be a party. It's our 20th episode, 20 weeks in a row that we've been doing this. And so join us, play the game, and join us in the chat. That episode specifically, I'm going to call out. If you at me, I will call out your comment if while we're talking about Super Metroid. So have a good night. Thank you guys, everyone. If you're listening, watching, check out everyone on the panel. All the links are in the description. And everyone has, like, you guys are all awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. It was awesome being on here. Yeah.
All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, listening. Good night. Happy Thursday. Have a good weekend. Have a good Friday. Adios. Oh, I love all the, like, bye.
See ya.
The languages I'm doing right now. So many gang signs I just did.
Oh no.